Welcome to the Revision Wizards podcast. I'm V.E. Griffith, and I'm joined by my annoying cat and my awesome co host, Ms. Catherine M.H.
This week's episode 55, and we have a special new edition. We're going to interview our new sage apprentice and new co host. So, with that, what's your name and what's your pronouns?
Varnadore, he, him pronouns, and yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah,
All right, so why did you want to join our podcast? We're going to grill you like an interrogation.
Okay. I have wanted to be on other writing podcasts, and I think I was actually on this one as like a interviewee, like way back, I want to say. Or one I was on something with Catherine when we were doing the Vela stuff. You guys also said, "Hey, you want to co-host?" I'm like, "Sure." So
Fair.
there's a spot open. I mean,
well, tell us where you're at in your writing journey. Do you have anything published? Or you editing? Or what are you up to?
got 10, 15 books out. First one came out in 2015, and then 2016 onward, pretty got out a few books every year. Haven't published anything in the last few years just because still trying to get over trauma and death of family members and the like, and just the 2020s have been kind of awful. So
What do you like to write?
I love writing science fiction and fantasy. Maybe taking this little toe tip into horror. Just all kinds of, and basically any type of fantasy sci-fi stuff is just my jam.
So, I know you're an evil person who uses the devil scrivener,
Hmm.
but would you say you're a pantser or a plotter or in between? Let's see where you fall with us.
I am very much a pantser.
Yes.
I sit down and I will just start writing. I've sat down for 15, 20 minutes and go, okay, that's enough for right now, to 2, 3 hours of it. Yeah, and I will fully admit there are times where I've written myself into a corner of some sort and it's like, um, crap. I'm gonna get up and leave, and I'll either come up with a situation or scrap it. Usually I'll come up with something to sort of get around it. And if it's a first draft especially, I'll just skip to another section and just say, that's future Lon's problem.
Okay.
Scrivener makes that easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at that. Now I have another pantser here. You can have him with this scrivenerness.
Tell us a little bit about your writing process beyond pantsing.
Well, I'll usually just like I say, pants the first draft. And it'll probably come out to about roughly 80 pages, 50,000 words ish. There are times when it's less, sometimes it's a little bit more, but then I'll take a break from it, and if I don't have a deadline, which I've done before, and it hurts my soul uh, to have such a deadline sometimes, put it away. And best thing is like to put it away for a few weeks, and if I still feel like I need to write something, I will sit down and I will write something completely different. And I'll just start writing something. Once that time is sort of passed, I pull it out and I read it like my worst enemy has written it.
That's a way to look at it.
Just like and it's also like it get to a point, it's like, damn you, past lawn. Getting to that point where it's like, what what's supposed to happen here? There's a blank smile. You bastard. So go through, I'll edit as best I can. I'll get sort of a alpha draft type of thing, try to get someone to read it. Usually I will have an editor friend of mine take a pass. And they are pretty brutal. but good at what they do, and then get it back. And after I've been torn apart and bleeding, I will heal up and patch myself up and see that 99% of those changes are good. Though gray is spelled Grey. I will die on this hill
Yeah,
for the color.
I do
Yeah,
the
I will die
same.
on this hill. Yeah.
For once, that's not a battle I'm going to pick.
Do another draft. If I think I still need another edit, I'll send it back to the editor and then publish.
Salon, are you an underwriter or an overwriter?
Usually an underwriter. I try to get get more words out on different drafts, and sometimes it just takes a long time. Sometimes it takes a I remember one time a agent actually asked, "I need you to get this from 85,000 to 100,000." And I did it in a little under 2 weeks, I think, and then sent it to him and say, "This is great. I don't want it. Thanks." I guess for the most part, I'm an underwriter.
Okay, well, now I have a question because you mentioned it. Are you traditionally published or indie published or both?
I'm only indie published. I have not. I tried. I had a chance to talk to some agents at a local writing convention type of thing, and it was great because I talked to this agent, and she handed me her card, and she said that, it's like, "This is my card. Send me what you have when you need to. There is no time limit, anything. Just send it to me when you are ready." And so I did, and by then she was like, "It's really great. I love it. Don't We're not gonna publish. When I'm not gonna push it. I don't want you as a client." I'm like, "Oh, thanks. Okay."
That sucks.
Yeah, but it happens. Yeah.
So you're not one of those who will throw away 200,000 words when you get to the end of a draft and go, "Oh my god."
No, probably not.
Must be nice.
Mm,
All right, so what do you write in? I know you write in Scrivener, but
mhm.
anything else that you use with your writing process or your editing process
Uh, with my editing, you said?
or writing? Both,
Okay,
whichever.
both. Well, I also like to write by hand, which I know some people kind of like look at me and wonder what's wrong with you. Some people, um, I
The answer is nothing on that one.
yeah, exactly. But I also have until recent things, I will mostly actually print out the entire draft of whatever I'm writing if I'm in an editing mode. I will print out the whole whatever I have, and I will actually go over it with a red pen and actually edit the thing. And I found that the best thing is in if I'm going through it and suddenly there's a bunch of details that just pop into my brain that I want to put in, I will pull out my little traveler free write thing, put a number next to where I'm editing, and just write down the draft and whatever other ideas I have, and just heat and go back to editing. And then revision is just going through the editing, the edits, adding in the extra stuff that I've added, and go from there.
So when you have a writing process, do you have a zone that you write in that's like, "This is where I write," or are you like other pantsers, you write anywhere and everywhere?
For the most part, I can write anywhere, but I find the best I do have a zone of sorts, and that's the den in my house right now. It's the best. It's just a place that is mine. It is a place that I can, in essence, I can close the door if I need to, even though it's a weird foldy door that doesn't really close and lock. But yeah, I can easily kind of just come in here, shut out the world, except for the cats that love to come in and out, and sometimes jump on me and jump on the computer. And yeah, just kind of have my zone, but I can write other places, and I do. So,
Are you one of those crazy idea factory kind of people, or are you the sort of person who works on one thing at a time?
oh, I have massive ADHD, so I'm giant. I'm constantly coming up with 5 different ideas at once, and I'll write something down. I'll start working on something, and all of a sudden my mind will go, "No, wait, this is a better idea." I've found that it's usually me not wanting to finish a product or finish a story and so my mind will go, "Oh no, wait, this is a better idea." I will open up another document and I will type out the idea and then go back to the original thing that I was working on. The thing is, because of the way that I am editing and letting things sort of process, now I have other things I can sort of work on. So I have, like, 3 or 4 different ideas in the pipe at any one point.
You're insane.
I
Yes,
think
very
that
much so.
works best.
Mhm.
I've been struggling to get one out for the last 10 years. So, I don't have a lot of, I don't have a notebook full of ideas yet. So I've sort of been working on the one project, and I want to get it done. If Miss Catherine would fucking read it.
I will. I'm gonna set a deadline, not that I'm gonna announce it on here because once I announce it, then everybody's gonna be like, "Did you get that deadline?"
Everyone's gonna know. Did
So
you get the deadline? Mhm.
so yeah.
That's okay. I'll hold you to it later. Are you a fast writer? Are you a slow writer? Is it easy? Is it painful?
Yes.
Yes to all of it. Got
I
it.
mean, yes, all. I mean, like, sometimes it's slow. Sometimes I'm sitting there staring at a page with like 3 words on it, and it's like, I see a cat, or 4 or whatever. And it's like, I see a cat, and I'll just stare at it for 45, like 30 minutes, and just go, the hell is going on? Why am I doing this? And it's like, yeah, the whole, oh, I shouldn't have done this. I should have actually gotten a major, I should have majored in something that'll actually, you know, make a decent amount of money and make a living so I can go off and be an investment banker or plumber or something. Then there are other times when it's just, I'll sit down and just start working and just crank out 5, 10 pages in a day in a sitting if I'm feeling excessively, ready. So it depends, and I have not had many of those latter days in a bit. But hey,
What would you say you enjoy doing more, editing or writing?
neither. I enjoy rewriting. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I do love writing, and I do love the process of writing and sitting down and just sort of discovering where it's gonna go. I am the very much the discovery pantser type of writer. Editing is, I have to eat my vegetables,
Okay.
but revision for me is very much it's kind of like almost dessert. It's so much it's fun because at the thing is for the most part, I see it as I'm doing that discovery, but in a slightly different way, in looking at what I've written and go, oh, maybe I meant to do it this way, and like change some of the words or change a phrase or something.
Okay. I enjoy the most writing the book, and especially the middle. I absolutely love writing the middle of the book. I hate writing the beginning, and I'm not the best at writing the ending, and that's where my revisions mainly focus because my middle, I love it. I could write middle of stories for anybody all day long.
Well, good. If you'll read mine, you can write the middle of it.
Trying to get through that beginning slow section.
Yeah, like I am very bad with the soggy middle, as they say. Like I am bad with it, and I find that's where a lot of my attention starts to sort of like deviate and away and sort of go, oh, let's go over here, let's go here. So even if it's sort of a, "Oh, this is an idea that's gonna branch out from the middle and sort of go off in this direction, and it'll keep telling the story that I want to." No, it's really not. It just I'm lying.
VE, I think you enjoy the revision and, like, editing part of writing, right?
Absolutely, I cannot stand first drafting. It's the way I always say it is that, I hate writing, but I love having written, and which is an old saying, the progenitor of whom I forget. I'm sorry, I would cite you if I remembered. But my problem is the pleasure of having written does not overcome the pain of writing sometimes, and so I don't write,
Mhm.
in the way that I should to get things done. The flip side of that is that the story that I have in my head won't go away. So I have to write it at some point, or I will never be able to move on to the next one.
That at least helps. Yeah. First drafting is one of my favorite parts of writing. But then again, I'm also that overwriter, so my first drafts are like 200,000 words, and
I gotcha.
then I gotta drop it.
Yeah, she's crazy, Lon. Just so you know, she's crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I can tell you the ending to the first book I ever wrote and published, actually, I changed the ending about 5 or 6 times and, like, had to throw away dozens of ideas on how to end the damn thing. So,
So now that you are becoming our apprentice, what forward to in editing and learning with us?
everything and anything that I can, really. Trying to work on some of the words that I just always know I'm going to either spell wrong or use too much.
Sometimes in order to get it right, you just gotta do it again and again and again.
No, it's not repetition, it's the in order to. She knows I hate that.
I put it in all my books and I keep it. Anytime he's ever been like, "You need to get rid of this," I'm like, "Nope."
I have never seen a situation where in order to is necessary except in dialogue, because I know people speak that way. You don't need it.
Maybe we need more of it in order to get used to it.
Like to side tangent about dialogue and about that. Um, there's one series of books that I started and have not finished where there is a character who uses essentially as a telepath, speaks into people's heads and all that. And his dialogue, I use semicolons. And yeah, that the look in his face. And the thing is because he is a very exact type of speaker. He speaks very exactly. He doesn't he very rarely uses colloquialisms and the like, but does once and again, and it's a little bit more jarring for when he does type of thing. But so many people have massive problems with that. And what's I find is absolutely hilarious is the editing. Like if I use any type of editing software, I use Grammarly once and again. Grammarly seems to love to do that. And it's just why? Like I've even had an editor once who actually said, "No, there needs to be a semicolon here." Like it's in dialogue. Why? Just make it two separate sentences then.
That's why you have to be careful with AI stuff like Grammarly
Oh
and
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
you have to I love them. I use Pro Writing Aid because it interfaces directly with Scrivener, but you need to pay attention to what it's doing and make intelligent
But
choices. You can't just blindly
I
accept
do
its
like
changes.
I like writing dialogue and I like writing jargon especially and figuring out jargon. That's always a fun thing for sci-fi and fantasy stuff.
Oh, I love writing in different types of accents and ways that people could talk.
Miss Catherine is laughing like that bothers me, and actually in her work that I've read, I don't mind the accents quite so much. Some of our friends really hate them, but I it doesn't bother me. So what did we miss? What do we want to know about you that we don't know we want to know?
I guess maybe what I've learned from writing the amount of books that I've written.
So what have you learned from writing the number of books you've written?
I don't know. Still trying to learn it myself, I think. I just it's a continuous learning process. I kind of learn something every time I write or revise a book. There are parts of me that really want to do something, and it's like I know I shouldn't, and that's go back to any book that I've published already and like try to do something different with it, like try to like revise it or change it or something. And I know that's just a gigantic no-no, but I want to sometimes. But it's weird. I don't want to do that with the very first book I've written because I feel like that's just and I and unlike so many other people, I love the first book I've written and published. Granted, it's been through like 5 revisions and there's been like 5 published revisions, but hey. The most recent is the best in my opinion.
Do you think because you've published, it's easier?
No. I still I still have the butterflies, the worry, the oh god, why am I doing this? I should have been a plumber. Type of thing every single time I I sit down to write. I still have that anxiety. I still have that. Like it's always going to be there. But I know the thing is I can counter that voice in my head with at the same time you have published other books and other people have bought them. So you have made money off of your writing. So it's not completely outside the realm possibility that you are actually a good writer.
Okay.
Which is a contrast to the way I feel. I can hear the whistling sound from my copy of Scrivener sucking so hard.
That's because it's in Scrivener. If it was in
Oh,
Google Docs, it would be fine.
I put it in Google Docs for you, and you can't stand it. So
No, I can't stand your character. There's a difference. Your writing is good.
damn.
But it's alright. You're just a line editor. I'll get to you.
Ooh, ooh.
No, it's okay. I can't line edit to save my life. Actually, I just got my first 1 star on an article I wrote, which was really funny. I sent it to my editor because their comment was, "There was so much wrong with it, you should pretty much have an editor look it over." And I went, "Wow." I send it in, and the editor does whatever they want to the article once I've sent it in.
Yeah.
I was like, "So it did go through an editor." She laughed with me earlier today about it. Is there anything you wanna know about us? Because you just signed up to be with us, so
Yeah. What type of crazy stuff is in store for us in the future?
shit, if we knew that.
well, you signed in blood, so you can't leave.
I thought that there was a problem with that, like like you did say for thaumatological reasons, so I was a little hesitant, but
Now, most of the time, you're gonna see us bantering back and forth. We almost never agree on something. Like, I love writing the middle of the book. He hates writing the middle of the book. So, it is fun, and it makes for fun topics, and it will be interesting to see if you have a completely different mindset from us, or if you, like, side with me most of the time.
The one thing that I would yeah, the one thing that I would say is that you need to banish from your mind the idea that we have a plan.
Yeah,
oh yeah, like
no. I've turned him into a pantser when it comes to podcasting, which is really funny because I'm the one who usually has to be like, "Do we have a script? Did we make something? Do you need me to make something?" And he's like, "We could wing it."
that's my life, man. Come on, this is winging it. You
Yes.
have a plan. Plan? What is this? What 4-letter word is this?
One that doesn't exist for us.
I'm all for it.
Good.
Let's do this.
All right, where can we find you on the internet?
Oh, goody. Well, if you use Twitter, and I will say Twitter until my dying day. I'm at Lon Varnadore one. That's Varnadore, and then the numeral one. I'm on Instagram, and I'm at Lon underscore Scribbler.
Okay. Well, then I guess that about covers it for this episode, and we will see how things develop.
See?
All right.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Bye.